Perfect Days is a special film. It does not waste your time with flowery words, bumbling exposition, or bombastic music. It is simply the daily life of a seemingly unbothered man who cleans toilets all around Tokyo, lives alone in his two-story apartment, reads classic literature, and takes photos of trees in his local park. In the morning, he wakes up without so much as an alarm clock, folds his futon, waters his plants, gets into his white-collar uniform, and heads to work. And oh, he grabs a can of coffee from his vending machine. Driving to work, he picks a cassette to play from a curated list and routinely cleans the toilets of different architectures and technologies. He does this over and over, again and again. Wake up, work, eat, and sleep. Hirayama is a man of routine. There is no written schedule nor any alarm to remind him of what to do. He just does it. There is a vibrant happiness in his stride, like nothing could ever ruin his intention. His actions follow a dedicated state of flow, his mind only an observer to his body. Whenever Hirayama comes home from work, he frequents a diner found in a subway station where he orders the same set of meals over and over, as evidenced by the fact that the restaurant employee expresses joy when seeing him once again. On some days, Hirayama heads to the local bathhouse to refresh. He even arrives at the exact time the establishment opens, a sign of courtesy, loyalty to the bathhouse, and fervent devotion to his schedule. That is, when no one is around. At first glance, we as an audience associate Hirayama with a Zen Buddhist. He is practical, simple, and eternally happy. There is a sense of control emanating from his lifestyle. He owns the stage, and we, the audience, are in tune with his serendipitous nature. Until Takashi shows up. Takashi to Hirayama is Abbott to Costello, the Joker to Batman, or Goku to Vegeta. Takashi is distracted, mischievous, and young, while Hirayama is focused, kind, and, well, old. This leads to most of the comedy in the film. Hirayama is even visibly distressed when Takashi becomes a nuisance, indulging in self-pity and play pretend to get on Hirayama's good side and extort money from him. Poor guy. This affects Hirayama badly, as he has to sacrifice one of his beloved cassette tapes, Perfect Day by Lou Reed. But Hirayama hastily recovers from this, as the very next day, he finds himself in a new sense of gratitude. Every day, Hirayama escapes to the park, where he eats a sandwich while observing the trees and the komorebi. He takes photos with an analog camera, the film of which he purchases at a shop on a weekly basis. In this, Hirayama finds peace in the silent and natural. Whatever is loud and superficial impacts him negatively, and in his desire for comfort and satisfaction, he finds retreat in the repeating cycle of a nondescript Japanese man. But that doesn't take away my respect for him. In this kind of lifestyle, Hirayama embodies the qualities of a man content with his life. He is a man of reflection and learning, as seen when he reads Faulkner and Highsmith, finding enjoyment in the mature themes found in their works. He is no stranger to nighttime activities, which I can only guess grants him a somber finality to his days. Around the halfway point of the film, after a day of errands, Hirayama bikes his way back home. To his surprise, Nico, his niece, shows up. Nico ran away from home, presumably after a disagreement with her mother concerning Hirayama, but nonetheless, Hirayama takes her in. His routine changes as now Nico takes the podium, his bedroom. He sneaks with a level of stealth akin to a thief grabbing incriminating evidence to avoid waking her up and possibly accompanying him to work. That fails for all the days she takes residence in Hirayama's home, and it delights us to see that. Nico is a lovely character who has deep parental affection for her uncle, which Hirayama abruptly accepts. He is a man who prefers to evade the past, and Nico is a reminder of that. Even so, they have a meaningful time together, sharing the screen. Nico is a mirror image of Hirayama, which is rarely seen in other films, a good kid in the simplest sense of the word. In the most quotable scene of the whole film, Hirayama and Nico are biking on a bridge Hirayama frequents. Nico asks,
ここずっと行ったら海？
うん、海だ。
行く？
今度ね。
今度っていつ？
今度は今度。
今度っていつ？
今度は今度。今は今。
今度は今度。今は今。
In the film, there are a handful of moments that showcase the beauty of Hirayama's life. Through the toilet cleaning scenes, the shadow tag he shares with a sick businessman, the leisurely observation of Komorebi, and even the ending. Ambiguous as it is, the ending provides a sense of beauty through the warm wash of sunlight yellow and the unnervingly adamant shot of Hirayama's face for a solid, exact 2 minutes. As my teacher said, the ending was not something he expected and it lacked in some way. I share the same sentiment. But that's besides the point. So how do I relate my position to this film? I'm just a guy who plays Dark Souls. As someone who in many respects wishes to be like Hirayama, in the way he lives his life out of habit, practicing temperance and monk-like patience, reading literature, perusing the city, and eating at local diners, there's some level of discontentment I feel from this. I cannot keep to myself. I cannot abstain from television. I cannot clean toilets every day. I cannot even imagine being single all my life. But most importantly, I cannot bear to live alone, escape the past, and not dream of something tantamount to what a company would brand a mission and vision. In this simple life, Hirayama finds peace and contentment in a cycle, but it seems to me that he is persistent in avoiding anything that trespasses his bubble of attentive consciousness toward present solitude. His family, Takashi, the restaurant owner and the businessman hugging, all tell me that he actively avoids a commitment to others, messy as that may be. And that is the beauty of the film. Hirayama has a flaw, but he has a life to make up for it. I have a dream, but I bear with me a collection of flaws known to me or by others. The choice I have to make is to find purpose in my life. Not to be a blue-collar worker handling a conveyor belt of ideas, but a sculptor. I can choose to build my life over and over again, with different materials of different consistencies, forming every contour, my hands gliding through in the hope that the best one actually sticks. The meandering shots of the city, the carefree and escapist music, the different characters interacting with Hirayama, and the sparse dialogue all create a film that seeks to inform me of the idyllic beauty of living in controlled simplicity, but ends up telling me something I need much more, a reevaluation of my own life. From all that, I give Perfect Days a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching.